Hello everyone and welcome back to my CCNA course. In this lesson, we're going to learn one of the most useful and practical services in networking, and that's going to be the DHCP, which stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. And then we're going to understand how DHCP works and how to configure a DHCP server on a Cisco router in Cisco Packet Tracer. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how devices automatically get their IP addresses and how to manage that process in your own network. So let's get started. Every device in a network needs an IP address to communicate. We could manually assign IP addresses to every PC, laptop, and phone, but imagine doing that for 100 or maybe 1,000 devices. It would be a nightmare. That's where DHCP comes in. And that's going to be Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. These automatically assign IP addresses to devices on a network, but it doesn't just assign IPs. It also provides default gateways, DNS servers, and subnet mask. So this makes network setup faster. So how DHCP works? DHCP works using a four-step process called DORA. The first one is going to be D-O-R-A, and that's going to be discover, that's going to be the offer, request, and the last one's going to be acknowledge. So for discover, when a new client joins the network, simply doesn't have an IP address, it just sends a broadcast message and ask for IP address that's called DHCP discover to find the DHCP server, and the DHCP server receives that discover message and replies with an offer suggesting an IP address and configure it for the client. The request. The client receives the offer and sends back a request saying, yes, I'd like to use that IP address. And finally, the DHCP server sends an ACK or acknowledge, confirming the IP address and other settings. And now the client has a valid IP address and can communicate on network. This entire process takes actually only maybe 30 seconds or maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds. That's so much fast. Alright, so let's build our networking packet tracer. We need one router, one switch, and maybe 2 PCs. Now we're going to connect them, but remember, this time we don't assign IPs. We're going to set up the DHCP. So let's get started. We just go to the CLI, the router CLI, type in no and we're gonna say enable conft IP DHCP. We're gonna create a pool, and now the name. You can say LAN underline pool. So we just created LAN pool, and now we're inside. Now we need to set most of these options. So one by one, we say network, and that's going to be 192.168.10 with subnet mask. This. Now we're going to set the default router, this one, to 192.168.1.1. And now we're gonna create a DNS server. Assign a DNS server to it, not create one. 192, or maybe not, we say Google, for example, this DNS. Or maybe domain name, we set it to my network.local, and that's it. We just configured a Cisco router to act as a DHCP server. Before the router starts handling our IPs, we should exclude some addresses from the pool. For example, we want to reserve 192.168.1.1 for default gateway for these port. So we just need to exclude that one. We say IP DHCP excluded networks, maybe excluded address, and type all networks you want. 1, maybe 2, and that's it. So we just excluded 2 IP addresses. So the DHCP pool doesn't assign these addresses to any PC. So now let's check if this works. If we go to this PC, here IPs, instead of typing manually the IP, just say DHCP. Oh, it failed. Why? Oh, this port is shut down. We go into interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0, and we're gonna IP address 192.168.1.1. Now I'm gonna say no shot. Now let's check this again. As you can see, DHCP request successful. 192.168.1.3. We didn't receive 2 because we excluded that one. So this must be, and yeah, that's going to be 4. So if DHCP doesn't seem to work, check these things I'm going to say. The router interface must be up, as we mistaken earlier. The DHCP pool network and default gateway must be correct. The PC should be connected to the right VLAN. These are connected to default VLAN 10 automatically. For confirming our commands, we go here and say show running config. Now we're gonna see all the commands. We see these commands: IP DHCP pool, network, default router, DNS server, and the domain name, and that's it. And the excluded ones, you can also see that here. If still the PCs didn't get IP address, we just go to here. I hope this works. We say ipconfig release. Oh, this doesn't working. Now we just clean the IPs. You see, no IP address. And now we're gonna have to ask for DHCP process again. Instead of release, now we're gonna say renew. And again, we just got this IP. So as you can see, this is working perfectly fine. So let's review what we have learned today. DHCP automatically assign IP addresses to devices. The DHCP process includes discover, offer, request, and acknowledge the DORA. We configured a Cisco router as a default DHCP server using DHCP pool. We learned how to exclude reserved IPs. That's very important. We just verified our configuration using show IP DHCP, or we just set show running config. Let's check this command too. Show IP If you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel. I hope I see you in the next video.